I'm Daniel, and my presentation is telling you about my poster, which will be advertising the 2012 Olympics, which will be held in London. And this is my mood board. As you can see, I've got put a picture of the new stadium, the 2012 logos, and pictures of London to signify they will be held in London. And lots of pictures of Olympic athletes and Olympic events that take place and all that. Basically, my idea is to create two A4 size posters, or bigger, A4 maybe bigger. One of them will have the Olympic Stadium with the Olympic logo at the top and some text at the bottom, something on the lines of 2012 Olympics, witness it, experience it, live it. And my second one is a picture of London with the same logo at the top and some text at the bottom with London 2012, it's coming, and the official start date. And target audience is people of all ages really, people from old people to middle-aged people to teenagers and even children. I think everybody should get involved in it and watch the Olympics or even take part if they want to. And I'm going to use the posters by sending them off to distributors so they can be advertised nationally. We could also send them to local TV and radio stations who would advertise them on their radio and TV shows. And if possible, we'll get people to go out on the streets and hand the posters out to people and advertise them to people on the streets and members of the public. Are there any questions?
What kind of colours do you think you're going to look at using on your posters in there?
All natural colours really. There'll be pictures similar to these, but a great big picture of the city of London with some text at the bottom and the two logos at the top.
How are you going to make people outside London feel part of the Olympics? Because at the moment, most of your pictures are London-based buildings and images. So how are you going to make people outside London feel that they're part of the Olympics and they should take part or come and watch?
Yeah, that's the part of advertising them nationally, so people all over the UK can see the posters and get involved in the Olympics.
Okay, but are you going to use any images part of your poster to attract people, that it's not just about London, that it's about everybody and everything? You want a worldwide audience really, don't you? At the moment your poster's mainly concentrating on London, so a lot of people will think, well, it's all about London, we don't feel part of it. How are you going to attract people in Glasgow, in Belfast, in Cardiff, in Leeds to come to the Olympics?
If I can find some pictures of those places or people from those places and stick them on there, I could try that.
Yep. How are you going to source your images then, in terms of where are your images going to come from for this poster?
Most of them will probably come from books or from the library. Obviously I can't get the logos in the stadium from books, they'll have to come from the internet. Apart from that, all my images will be coming from books and maybe magazines.
How will you make it exciting and interesting, colourful? You can't just always take loads of pictures and just stick them on a poster. What are you offering that's different from the current advertising campaign for the Olympics?
I'm offering a chance for people to actually get involved by doing the advertising and getting people involved by handing them out to people, as members of the public and all that.
Now that's the kind of distribution side of thing, isn't it? That's once the poster's actually finished in its whole and we actually give it out as a physical product. How do you aim to actually portray this as part of your poster, the overall look? How's the overall look going to make somebody in Dewsbury, Leeds, Huddersfield want to take part in the Olympics or get involved somehow?
But the whole point of it is that anybody can get involved if you want to.
But how is that going to come across in your poster? If I look at your finished poster, what is it on the poster that's going to say to me, you can get involved? Obviously you just put text, you can get involved, that doesn't mean anything. I'm talking about images on your poster. Speak out to me, say you can get involved.
I could get some pictures of Olympic athletes and sort of taking part in the games and all that, and say this could be you in 4 years' time if you really want to do it. If you're say if you're out of shape and you want to get into shape, or you could start training for the next 3 years or whatever, and then when it's time for the Olympics you could go to London and take part in the games. Even if you don't win, you can come home and say I took part in the 2012 Olympics. And even if you do win, you may get a medal.
Okay, so if I look at your post and I think, right, I want to compete in the 2012 Olympics, I start training, is there a chance that I could take part? Is there a really realistic chance that that's going to happen?
You never know, there could be.
Might need a few steroids.
More than a few.
Okay, you get it. I'm going to say it's looking at, like what it says, the kind of pictures which are going to tell that story in terms of what you got, how do you get involved. Like you say, it is maybe looking at different kind of athletes and kind of linking it to health, linking it to what you got, kind of making better of yourself or better of the UK as a whole. You're selling, as well as the Olympics, you're selling the UK, aren't you? You're saying that whatever, this is a way of improving our life or whatever by getting involved in something which is going to be so big. It might not seem it now, but come 2012 it's going to be the biggest thing that happens, yeah?
Yeah, because this is the first time Olympics will be held in the UK in 60 years. This may be the last time, this is maybe your last chance to watch them or take part in them for the rest of your life.
So that's what we call it, that's your unique selling point then, is the fact that this is going to be the last time in at least, 16 years, that what you call, you're going to be able to get involved either by watching, going down and actually seeing people live, or if the possibility is still there, physically getting involved in.
So you have to get that once in a lifetime opportunity across in your poster. So how are you going to do that? That's what you need to think about. You can't, posters not just a collection of pictures plastered all over, nice and colourful. There has to be a story behind it that people can see instantly. Okay. And your thing is to get involved. Okay. Any questions?
Yeah. After an impressive opening ceremony at the 2008 Olympics and a very technical display from the Chinese team, have you thought about personalising the logo and bringing the Olympics logo to life? Because it's been done differently for each subsequent Olympic event.
You're asking what I think of this logo?
Well, I'm asking you what you thought about how you'd make yours personal, how it's going to come to life as been seen on our footage. We've got kind of, it changes into characters, it runs, it does stuff, it throws javelins, it's animated. Have you thought about how that's going to be incorporated into your poster to bring across that feel that makes it, one, a product of the UK and also something we can all be part of?
Well, obviously I can't change the logo unless I have a go at creating my own logo to stick on the poster.
But what you could do, I think what Leon's kind of saying is what...
They've twisted the standard 5 Olympic look to make it, animate and come across the screen, but that's advertised it to itself and told us that in itself is a feat of animation, but it's a feat of human prowess and endurance, etc., etc. That is synonymous with the Olympics. Have you thought about how you're going to portray that as part of your advertising campaign, as it has been done with, probably since about about 96 really?
Yeah, so you could look at using the London 2012 logo, or the one they created, or the Olympics logo, and like Leon said, you've seen all the fancy logos we get in Google, don't you? You go to Google, and every time something new happens, you get you get fireworks coming out of it for bonfire night, something like that. At the moment, because I think the Queen's visiting the Google headquarters, it's got the picture of the Queen on there as one of the O's. Yeah, you could do a similar thing with the London 2012 logo, change that and make that into kind of different parts to represent the Olympics, or you could use the Olympic rings and modify those and actually use those as part of your design. Okay. Anything else?
Are you planning on taking pictures of London?
I can't, I'll have to get them from books and scan them and copy them onto the computer.